Breaking news. The votes are in. A dangerous shift for religious freedom. Senate is now moving closer towards the road to the mark of the beast, closer and closer, and the key players are in. It's official. President Donald Trump's Project 2025 representative for Department of Labor is now in position. Senate has already confirmed. Revelation 17, verse 17. For God had put in their hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. You remember April 1, 2025, nomination sent to the Senate, Jonathan Berry of Maryland to be Solicitor Department of Labor. A little bit of background, dear friends. Jonathan Berry is the principal author of the Sunday Rest recommendations outlined in Project 2025, which seeks to amend the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, and implement a communal day of rest, with Sunday designated as the default Sabbath. Exodus 20, verse 8 to 11. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. We have always wondered who will be the key players of enforcing one world religion that will trample upon the labor law of God, which is the fourth commandment. Sunday laws. Prophecy revealed that it is USA with apostate Protestants, but Satan will first attack labor laws of America. Welcome, dear friends, to TIBP Media. Kindly like and share this important prophecy update. BloombergLaw.com headlines. Senate confirms Trump picks to key labor department. October 8, 2025.
The yeas are 51, the nays are 47. The nominations in block are confirmed. Under the previous order, the motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the President will be immediately notified of the Senate's actions.
The Senate voted 51 to 47 last Tuesday to confirm a batch of nominees. The added personnel would join the Trump administration's effort to push forward a labor agenda that includes significant regulatory changes. Jonathan Berry will serve as DOL's chief attorney. Berry authored the chapter on the DOL in the Conservative Policy Blueprint, Project 2025. But during his Senate confirmation hearing, he sought to deny and distance himself from its Project 2025 proposal. Why is this happening? Jonathan Berry denies connection with Project 2025 before Senate confirmation, just like Trump. October 3, 2025. Headlines. Trump no longer distancing himself from Project 2025 as he uses shutdown to further pursue the Project 2025 its goals.
Let's talk about what's going to happen now as this rolls along. President Trump appears now to be openly embracing the conservative blueprint Project 2025. Remember that from last year amid the government shutdown, despite distancing himself from that during the 2024 campaign. In a social media post yesterday, the president announced he would be meeting with his budget chief, Russell Vought, identifying him as of Project 2025 fame.
Do you see the pattern? They are lying for their Sunday law agenda to be enforced without hindrance. But there's more.
The question of state and local law is reinvigorating, where possible, Sabbath rest laws. To be very specific, like it used to be, this was basically the norm. As best, I've looked into this some, I'm working on some research on this. Really literally dating back to Constantine and his recognition of Christianity in the Roman Empire, that you've had a pretty consistent tradition in Western civilization of taking Sunday off from commerce.
One of the interesting proposals that you've laid out in Project 2025 handbook from Heritage is stuff around the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the ideas that you have there?
Yes. So this is, it sounds controversial.
Mm-hmm.
In many respects, it is a return to something that basically always everyone ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And it's specifically the idea of encouraging Sabbath rest through discouraging commerce. Encouraging Sabbath rest through discouraging commerce. Encouraging Sabbath rest through discouraging commerce on the Sabbath. The proposal that's in our book is amending the basic federal overtime law, Fair Labor Standards Act, to require that overtime be paid for all work done on the Sabbath.
If you notice, he writes on the Sabbath rest that he will petition the Department of Labor to make sure American workers rest on Sunday. But notice he inserted in the document Saturday rest from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. And now he's going to state overtime. They will try to increase overtime pay so that workers don't have to work on Sundays.
Pluralist society, if you reinstate blue laws, then you would have to outlaw sports teams on Saturday in order to accommodate Jews for the Sabbath, or Muslims, Seventh-day Adventists. So how do you kind of thread that needle?
Well, we're not obligated to satisfy every group under the sun. We're not obligated to satisfy every group under the sun. We're not obligated to satisfy every group under the sun. You have to make these judgments.
Is basically that what you're doing is it's a de facto privileging of Christianity, because which religion has the Sabbath on Sunday? Well, it's Christianity. And so you're not doing it on Saturday. And so you're not doing it on Saturday. And so you're not doing it on Saturday.
The Bible Sabbath will not be accommodated. That is the truth. The biblical Lord's Day will not be accepted, and instead they will force men to labor on the biblical day of the Lord, the Sabbath. SWD 69:2. Time will come when men will not only forbid Sunday work, but they will try to force men to labor on the Sabbath, and men will be asked to renounce the Sabbath and to subscribe to Sunday observance or forfeit their freedom and their lives. Do you see the signs of the times, dear friends? Here is my appeal. 2 Timothy 3 verse 12. Indeed, all who desire to live godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted, will experience trial. This verse now gives us a new light, that even though we can be deprived of earthly needs and they will force us to worship, the remnant who have lived their lives faithful to God will react like Daniel, faithful in prayer and devotion. God takes us out of our comfort zone so we can learn to trust in Him. Just like in Luke 10 verse 4, carry no money, no bag, no sack, no sandals, and greet no one along the way. Why? So we will know, so they will know what it's like to really trust the Father, what it's really like to trust the providence of God. Have you experienced the providence of God in your life? Not only that we should know the truth, but the truth must transform the way we live and the way we act. The providence of God, dear friends. God will provide, God will save, and God will redeem. Our reply today to our Bible study, dear friends, I will represent Christ. Thank you, dear friends. Continue to preach truth found in Bible prophecy.